Welcome to the AnimalSpeak. I'm Pat Walker, animal intuitive, author, and your guide to the messages the animal world is always sending us. Whether you're here because your pet has something on their heart, a wild visitor showed up and left you wondering, or you're simply ready to deepen the bond between yourself and the animals in your life, you're in the right place. Every animal has something to say. Let's listen together. Honoring your animal's authentic nature. Today, I want to talk about something I think about a lot with my own animals, the difference between correcting behavior and actually honoring who the animal is. We spend so much energy trying to get our companion animal to be a little different than they are. The cat who scratches to be more polite about it, the dog who greets guests with a little less enthusiasm, the bird who could really stand to be quieter in the mornings. And underneath all that is the assumption that the animal in front of us is a problem to solve. But most of the time, they're not a problem. They're just being exactly who they are. Think about a border collie herding kids at the park. That's not a misbehavior. That's centuries of careful breeding doing exactly its job. Or a cat who hunts a feather toy like her life depends on it. She's not being dramatic. She's a predator. The instinct doesn't switch off just because she lives on your couch now. When we mistake nature for naughtiness, we end up fighting something that was never going to change. And we miss the better question, which is, what does this animal actually need, given who they are? I'll give you a personal one. My dogs are German Shepherds, and if you know the breed, you already know where this is going. They are loudly, enthusiastically vocal about protecting their home. Every delivery truck, every squirrel with bad timing, every knock at the door, I hear about it. Honestly, it still startles me sometimes. But barking isn't a flaw in a German Shepherd. That's centuries of purpose-bred instinct doing exactly what it was built to do. So instead of fighting it, we found a compromise. They get to bark for a minute. That's their job, and I let them do it. Then I ask for quiet on cue, and I praise them the second they give it to me. Nobody's instinct gets shut down, and nobody's ears get overwhelmed. That's really the whole difference between correcting an animal's nature and just managing it well. Horses show us a gentler version of this. A horse who spooks at a flapping tart isn't being difficult. She's a prey animal, and her nervous system is built to notice movement first and ask questions later. That instinct is literally what kept her ancestors alive. Asking her to never react is asking her to stop being a horse. The better approach is to desensitize gradually, and being a rider she trusts to stay calm when she doesn't. Now, I do want to be honest about something. This isn't a blanket permission slip for every single behavior. There's a real difference between an animal expressing who they are and an animal telling you something is wrong. A dog play bowing and zooming around the yard, that's nature. A dog who's pacing and panting and can't settle in a normally calm environment, that's discomfort. A parrot screaming to contact or call the flock at dawn and dusk, that's nature. A parrot plucking her own feathers, that's them telling you they're struggling. The nature itself is rarely the problem, but it's worth learning to tell the difference because one calls for accommodation and the other calls for help. So what does honoring nature actually look like day to day? A few things. Match the environment to the animal, not the other way around. A high energy dog in a small apartment isn't broken. He just needs more outlets built into his day. Give instincts somewhere legal to go. Digging, scratching, chewing, foraging. Give it an outlet, and a lot of the quote unquote problem just resolves itself. Let species be species. A goldfish doesn't want cuddle, and a cat is not as small for a human, even when she's curled up in your lap. And watch before you correct. Get curious about what a behavior actually is before you label it bad. Here's what I keep coming back to. Every animal you've ever loved was never trying to be something else for your benefit. They were fully, unapologetically themselves. And that never once got in the way of the bond. Your companion animal was never asking you to change who they are. They were simply asking you to notice. Thanks for spending time with me today. If something in today's video resonated with you, sit with it. The animals often speak in layers, and the meaning that matters most to you will find its way through. If you'd like to go deeper, I offer personal animal communication sessions for all species through the AnimalSpeak at patblocker.com. The animals are always speaking. Let's listen together.